What's going on, Jets fans? Happy Monday to all of you guys. And coming up on today's show, we got a pretty exciting one because we're going to be diving into what new head coach Aaron Glenn and new general manager Darren Mougey had to say about the new quarterback Justin Fields heading into the next season. Once you guys see all of these quotes, you guys will be fired up about Justin Fields being your QB1 heading into next football season. But before we dive into it, what say you on this one? Do you believe in Justin Fields? If you do, go down there, hit that thumbs up icon. But if you do not, and you're a little skeptical of Justin Fields here being the starting quarterback for the New York Jets, just comment why down below. But if you guys do believe in him, hit that thumbs up icon. No, comment why down below. So first off, we are going to be diving into what new GM Darren Mougey had to say in terms of who will be QB1 for the Jets next season. And there's really no shocker here. Darren Mougey said it will be Justin Fields. As he says, we believe Justin is the starter. We can believe in Justin. We believe we can win with Justin. So we're excited about Justin. So clearly Darren Mougey has some excitement about their new quarterback, Justin Fields there. But also Darren Mougey did add that Tyrod Taylor will be right on his heels in terms of a competition here heading into training camp, which, I like him saying that. I don't think this is a situation where, yes, you are paying Justin Fields 2 years, $40 million. Everything is indicating that he will be the starter, but you don't just want to completely turn the keys of the franchise over. Like, if he goes out there, he has a bad training camp, he struggles a little bit, then, yeah, I like Darren Mougey come out here and saying that a veteran like Tyrod Taylor will be right on his heels. So I think just from a bird's eye view, I think the Jets are handling this, nicely, but obviously, if I was making the decision here, I would probably have the same route that Darren Mougey's taken, where it's like, yeah, hey, Justin Fields, you're our starter. We believe in you. We are excited to see you go out there and play. But also, we got that veteran Tyrod Taylor right on your heels to keep him motivated, this offseason. But Aaron Glenn, he talked about Justin Fields as well, and he said this. He has a quiet confidence about himself. He can really throw the deep ball really, really well. Obviously, his legs are something that's dynamic, not just in college, but the NFL as well. I just think he's ready to break out as a top-notch quarterback. So he's going to do everything he can to be one of the better ones, and we are going to coach our asses off to make sure he does a good job out there. Now, I love the confidence that Aaron Glenn has in Justin Fields, and you know what? I'm excited to see what Justin Fields can do with an organization that supports him. Because even last year with Pittsburgh, they had Russell Wilson waiting in the reins. Obviously, he was dealing with that calf injury for the first part of that season, but they were just waiting to turn the keys over to Russell Wilson. Yes, they gave Justin Fields a fair-ish shot, but they never viewed him as the true starter last season, and even Fields' last year in Chicago. Everybody in the back of their mind had Caleb Williams, had one of these top quarterbacks on their, kind of on their mind saying, yeah, they could potentially be the starting quarterback for the Bears over the next couple of years. But, truly Fields hasn't been in an organization that fully believes in him. And I think that's so key because even if it's a job like, you're working construction or, you're an accountant, whatever it may be, if you have a job that believes in you and supports you in being the guy, it can really do wonders just for one, confidence, and also two, just getting the job done. And also, I'm sure Garrett Wilson is fired up to turn Justin Fields into a household name and one of those top-notch quarterbacks in the league that Aaron Glenn was talking about. Like, this is a guy, he went to battle with him when he was playing his collegiate football at Ohio State. And I'm sure Wilson, he's already a motivated guy. He's already one of the best wide receivers in the league, but I'm sure he is even extra motivated to make sure Justin Fields is reaching the top of his game. And Aaron Glenn also said this about Justin Fields and specifically his legs, saying, obviously, we want to utilize his legs, but we also want him to play quarterback. His offseason, we're going to allow him during OTAs to go out there and run an offense. We're going to make sure we're going to surround him with the right type of people that's going to make him successful. I think he's a dynamic player, and I think there's more that we can get out of that player, and I'm looking forward to that. And I guarantee you, Aaron Glenn's probably sitting around saying, yeah, I want to get the most out of Justin Fields. I bet you there is some untapped potential in there. And I will say this, just hearing the way Aaron Glenn and Darren Mougey are talking about, Justin Fields and even Mougey's comments about Tyrod Taylor, I don't anticipate that the Jets will draft a quarterback this season. And I think that is the right call. Even if it's a third or fourth round fire. Now, yes, if you really love a Kyle McCord, if you really love a Will Howard, then yeah, you can go take a flyer on either of those guys in the 3rd or 4th round. But I think in the 1st and the 2nd round, don't even think about drafting Jackson Dart. That is my one message to this Jets front office. If anybody out there is watching, please do not draft Jackson Dart. I think he has a very limited ceiling. He reminds me of a quarterback like Gardner Minshew, where it's like, yeah, he's got a good arm. He's got good athleticism. He kind of has those what the F are you doing plays in the back of your mind. But this Jets roster has too many holes. Just go offensive lineman, defensive lineman, first 2 rounds. Go tight end, offensive lineman. Go offensive lineman, tight end. Go defensive lineman, tight end. Just do not take a quarterback in the first 2 rounds. Kind of see what you have in Justin Fields, and then if it doesn't work out, you got next year to go find your franchise quarterback. But for this season, for this draft, I don't think the Jets will draft a quarterback, and I don't think they should either way. But hey, what do you guys think? Will the Jets draft a quarterback? Give me a Y for yes. Give me an N for no. I don't think they will. I think they're going to try to build up a stacked roster around Fields and just roll out with him. And then if Fields, knock on wood, let's just say he gets hurt, whatever it may be, you got Tyrod Taylor. You got even a guy like Jordan Travis waiting in the reins. So if I was making the call, I would not draft a quarterback. But you guys let me know what you think the Jets will do. Y for yes or N for no. Now, I also thought it was very interesting that Aaron Glenn was asked about how Justin Fields will fit in this Tanner Engstrad offense, obviously coming from a run-first system. How could we see that translate to Justin Fields being under center? Well, this is what Aaron Glenn had to say. If you look at Engstrad's career, he's been under Jim Harbaugh, which is a run-instilled offense. Obviously, he's been under Ben Johnson. When you go back and watch and just study what we've done, Ben did a really good job of putting everything together. Tanner did a really good job operating the passing game to make sure that it coincided with what we did in the running game. That's what Steve Hyden, my offensive line coach, did a really good job of also. I have all the confidence in the world that he can take all of the information he's learned. Now, obviously, at the end, there's more talking about Tanner Engstrad and how he's going to take over this Jets offense. But hearing these guys talk and hearing them talk about the run game, hearing them talking about, just what Justin Fields brings, specifically in the run game with his legs, I expect some physical football coming for the New York Jets this season. I think they're kind of sick and tired of kind of being the laughingstock of the AFC East, where, yes, maybe the Jets aren't a team that's going to go win 10, 11, 12 games next season, but they are going to be a tough out. Honestly, I think an ideal situation here could possibly be the Jets go 7-10 next season, but they beat some good teams. They're a tough out every given week, and they beat you up in the trenches, which is another big reason why I want the New York Jets to focus on the trenches instead of going a quarterback, instead of going for a position where it's more of icing on the cake. You got to go build that cake up first, and then you can go start adding icing hopefully next season in the NFL draft. But Woody Johnson, I thought this was pretty cool. I know we all have our thoughts on good old Woody Johnson, but he says that if anyone can change anything, a winning culture, it's Aaron Glenn. And I totally agree with Woody. Hearing the way Aaron Glenn's talking about just how he wants his football team to look, I promise you, and it might take as early as Thanksgiving next season, but when you watch the New York Jets, you will say to yourself, that's the Aaron Glenn New York Jets. That's not the Aaron Rodgers New York Jets. That's the Aaron Glenn physical, downhill, flying around football team. And man, I just can't wait to see how this really comes to fruition this upcoming season. But Woody, he was obviously asked on Aaron Rodgers, and this is what Woody Johnson had to say, saying the experiment was a good experiment. Don't know if I agree on that, but he says it just didn't work out. I have a lot of respect for Aaron Rodgers, and I'm sorry it didn't work out. But we had to make a choice, and I think we made the right choice. And I agree with him. Cutting Aaron Rodgers was 100% the right call here. Now, he also said he left that decision up to Aaron Glenn and Darren Mougey, so that was in the decision was in their hands, and I thought they made the right decision by far, and especially if we're just watching the NFL offseason right now. I mean, Aaron Rodgers really has one realistic choice to go be the starter. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he's still dragging this out. It's always, look at me, look at what I'm doing. I'm Aaron Rodgers, and I think when you're building a football team, especially with the new regime in there, you just need to cut bait, get some new blood, and plus when you bring in a guy like Justin Fields, who is nowhere near as talented as Aaron Rodgers is, but Fields is a guy that those players in the locker room, they're going to rally around him. They're going to see Fields working his tail off. They're going to see him putting in the extra work every single day after practice, bonding with his teammates. And when they're in that huddle every single Sunday, Monday, or Thursday night, they will believe that Justin Fields will be the guy to get it done, and they will want to go play for that guy. But Darren Mougey was also asked about Alan Lazard because I thought apparently Lazard was getting cut, but he's still on this team. And Darren Mougey says regarding Alan Lazard, that's fluid. They're working through that regarding a potential restructure, pay cut, etc. I think they should just move off him. You save about $10 million if you make him a post-June first cut. You still have one there. I mean, if you still have a couple guys you want to go sign in free agency, just make him a post-June first cut. Spend that money, pay your draft class with that extra money you get from cutting Alan Lazard. I don't really see why he's on the roster, considering also you got Josh Reynolds, Tyler Johnson, Malachi Corley, even a guy like Xavier Gibson still there. So I would cut him, but you guys let me know. Be the GM for me. What should the Jets do with Alan Lazard? Give me a C for cut or give me a K for keep. I think I'm cutting him. I think it's a pretty easy answer on this one, but hey, maybe you guys disagree with me. Let me know your thoughts down below. Another friendly reminder to hit that subscribe button on your way out. Help us reach 5,000 subs here on YouTube. And we'll see you guys next time. As always, go Jets.